Imagine a game that not only gave you the freedom of movement, but also of size. Hello, my name is Joseph Cortez and this is Scalar, an Unreal game engine prototype. The problem was to create a unique game prototype in Unreal Engine that was both fun, thought-provoking, and new to gamers. So for the solution, I created a unique first and third person interchangeable game prototype for the PC that was focused on the player's ability to shrink and grow. I wanted the player to be able to have several features such as item storage, life meter, and different custom physics to solve custom puzzles. And the game was to consist of one level. This would allow for future levels to be created if time permits. Alright, now to the languages and the tech used. The main language used was C++, and I used the interfaces of Epic's Unreal Engine 4, and within Unreal Engine 4 is Unreal Blueprint Visual Scripting. That's mainly to be used for animations as well as texture modeling. The IDE I used was Microsoft Visual Studio 2017. I also used GitHub for version control. I also had to implement GitHub LFS, which is a large file storage system, because the game had very large files. The game is close to a gig in size. Project objectives, I wanted the player to be able to move between first and third person view. I want the player to be able to move through their 3D rendered environment. The player was to be able to shrink and grow in size and store objects in their inventory. I also wanted the player to be able to shrink for a certain time. This I did not get to handle. Also, the player would have a life bar and various level aspects to harm the player. Finally, I wanted the player to be able to use their shrunken ability to solve a puzzle to win the game. My personal objectives, I wanted to gain experience with Unreal Engine and C++, gain experience with Git, learn more about integrating software and hardware to have it run efficiently, and expanding my knowledge in gameplay and user interface programming. The design process consisted of 3 phases. The first phase, I wanted to concretize textual requirements into basic prototype requirements and implement the requirements in Unreal. This was to involve developing the core mechanics such as game goals, player challenges, actors in the games, and the actors' actions. Most of my time was spent on this. It was a 5-week time frame. For phase 2 was to communicate the core mechanics in the game by designing a level around it. Designing the level and user interface was part of this phase, as well as constructing game mechanics in the level, creating the lighting scheme and other essential content, such as the ability to win the game or lose the game. This consisted of a 2-week process. Finally, phase 3 just was handling of polishing the game, creating textures for the game, and polishing the overall look and final game testing, and this was only to last 1 week. And now for a demo of the game. As you can see, I wanted to have the player be able to move in a 3D environment. They can jump, run, move around all spaces. They can also move to a first-person view with having a cursor in front of them. Here you can see them taking an item. Bottom left corner, I have their health meter. And here we've checked their inventory. You can see that they've picked up a health item. And let's see. Oh, now the player can grow to a maximum size and shrink to a minimum size instantaneously. I wonder if they can grow seamlessly. And let's have them shrink seamlessly. Moving back to first person, you can see that the camera moves with their breathing. Let's have them fly around, explore the world. Ooh, an item to pick up. And a small size that can go into tiny spaces. And we found another item. What is in here? Another item. You can see they can shrink to get into small places to pick up items when necessary. How do we get out of here? Let's have them fly out. And they can use their items as well. Using their health, now you can see they have 100 health. And using all 4 keys wins the game. Let's see how damage works. Game over. And after 5 seconds, the game starts over. As far as the impact of the game, there's been very few cases of a game with grow and shrink ability. My game offers unique character mechanics, and it's the start of a much larger project with a design team that I'd like to implement in the game. What was learned? Well, development of a 3D game in Unreal Engine is a massive undertaking. New challenges were constantly arising from solving existing challenges. I learned about the design patterns and code structure used in the industry, as well as the necessity for efficient planning. Finally, asynchronous operations for parallelism was learned in the game. It's very necessary for animation development. Thank you for watching my video on Scalar and Unreal Engine Prototype.